Here's some food for thought when it comes to automotive recalls in 2022. Recalls decreased 12.6% in 2022 compared to 2021. The sector also experienced a 10.3% decline in the number of units recalled, marking a 9-year low. And here are your numbers for the most recalls last year by brand and by numbers. Ford takes the cake. 72 recalls in 2022, impacting more than 9 million vehicles. Tesla had 21, impacting 4.1 million. General Motors, 34 recalls, 3.4 million vehicles impacted. Chrysler, Fiat, Stellantis, about the same. Nissan, 16 recalls, impacting about 2 million vehicles. If you combine Hyundai and Kia, they had 50 recalls, impacting about 3 million. If you break that up, it's about half and half. Mercedes, 35 recalls, impacting 1.4 million cars. Volkswagen had 47, 1.1 million vehicles, and BMW had 26 recalls, impacting just over 1 million vehicles. And here's what's ahead or forecasted for 2023. Electric vehicles remain a key focus in the automotive industry. Regulators and lawmakers in 2023, as the U.S. continues to move toward a zero-emission future. Manufacturers may also find their vehicles' smart features the target of new regulations as cybersecurity becomes a greater threat in increasingly connected vehicles. With experts recommending that industry standards should be developed, regulators may begin to work on this task in 2023. So often manufacturers will talk about the latest technology available, safety scores, reliability. Here are the most dangerous cars on the road today, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. They have the latest numbers indicating that the overall death rate from 2020, keep listening, was approximately 65 deaths per million registered vehicles on its highest rate of driver's death list. All right, now I want to offer you the 2023 numbers, but they are 2 years behind in terms of data. But the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says these figures that I'm about to report from previous year models often reflect the safety of the current models. So let's get started. Beginning with the Ford Mustang GT Coupe 2015 through 2018 model years, 81 deaths per million registrations, 23 deaths per million single vehicle crashes, 12 deaths per million single vehicle rollover, and 58 deaths per million multi-vehicle crashes. The Mustang is an interesting case. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gave marginal ratings to its structure and safety cage. Well, that matters. Another factor has to play in this, and that is Mustang drivers. The people behind the wheel of a Ford Mustang often are unbridled, much like a Ford Mustang. You can count so many videos online of Mustang drivers doing burnouts, drag racing, reckless driving, recording it and sharing it. So those numbers aren't that surprising. Next, the Kia Rio 2015 through 2018 model year, 87 deaths per million registrations, 38 per million were in single vehicle crashes, 0 in single vehicle rollovers, 51 deaths per million multi-vehicle crashes. In 2019, the Rio was second on the list of most dangerous cars, so now it's ninth, so things are getting better. Even with its safety improvements, it is still quite small, giving it a safety disadvantage versus bigger vehicles on the road today. At number 8, the Nissan Versa, 2015 through 2019, 88 deaths per million registrations, 42 deaths per million were in single vehicle crashes, 14 were in single vehicle rollovers, 49 deaths per million multi-vehicle crashes. Versa also stepped up its safety game. Even still, it's one of the most dangerous cars on the road, according to the 2020 car registrations and the number of road deaths there. The overall safety of these vehicles is rated poor, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, due to small overlap on the front driver's side in a crash. Kia Forte comes in at number 7, 2015 through 2018 model. 89 deaths per million registrations, 24 deaths per million single crash accidents, 2 deaths per million single vehicle rollovers, and 63 deaths per million multi-vehicle crashes. The Forte, another small car that struggles with safety ratings. It was rated acceptable. While that's okay, it's not a great rating. However, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety still gave the 2017 model a top safety pick. Considering the fact that the Forte is still on the top 10 list of the most dangerous cars might explain why the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety is getting stricter on its safety ratings. The Hyundai Elantra is next, 89 deaths per million registrations, 15 deaths per million in single crashes, 9 deaths were in single crash rollovers, 71 per million in multi-vehicle accidents. The Elantra made big strides in safety for the 2019 model year. Before that, the Elantra contributed to a decent number of road deaths. This is something worth considering when looking for a used Hyundai Elantra. The 2012 through 2019 Fiat 500 is next. 95 deaths per million registrations, 38 deaths per million in single vehicle crashes, 37 per million in single vehicle rollovers, and 60 per million in multi-vehicle accidents. The Fiat 500 is a true Italian classic. Its overall safety evaluation was poor, though. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, driver door hinges can tear apart and open the door, which, of course, can eject the driver from the vehicle in a crash. This, again, another example of a small car just being dangerous. Nissan Versa Note 2016 through 2019, 96 deaths per million registrations, 12 deaths per million in single vehicle crashes, 7 deaths per million in a single vehicle rollover, and 80 per million in a multi-vehicle accident. The Nissan Versa Note made headlines recently as the last of the 5-speed manual transmission cars. The hatchback version of the Versa is different from the sedan version covered earlier in this list. Top 3 now. At number 3, the Chevrolet Sonic 2012 through 2020, 98 deaths per million registrations, 34 deaths per million in single vehicle crashes, 10 deaths per million in single vehicle rollover, and 64 per million in multi-vehicle accidents. Sonic also suffers from structure and cage issues. The Sonic also had significant problems with small overlap on the driver's side in a crash. Small economy cars aren't doing great on these safety scores. The second most dangerous car in America is the Hyundai Accent 2012 through 2017, 116 deaths per million registrations, 28 deaths per million in single vehicle crashes, 9 deaths per million in single vehicle rollover, and 85 per million in multi-vehicle accidents. The Accent got an overall score of poor from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. They found that drivers may get severe injuries to the hips, thighs, legs, and feet if involved in a crash. However, that doesn't make it the most dangerous. The most dangerous car in America, the Ford Fiesta 2014 through 2019. Looking at 141 deaths per million registrations, 46 deaths per million in single vehicle crashes, 13 deaths per million in a single vehicle rollover, and 98 per million in multi-vehicle accidents. Both the sedan and the hatchback versions of the Fiesta from these years were found to be the most deadly car in America. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety rated the Fiesta marginal in safety. The 2014 through 2019 Fiesta has a serious weakness in front overlap crash tests.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.